O.J. Simpson. The name itself conjures images of gridiron glory, electrifying runs, and a megawatt smile that charmed America. Born in San Francisco, Simpson rose from humble beginnings to become a football legend. His talent was undeniable, a force of nature on the field, breaking records and capturing the hearts of fans across the nation. His fame transcended sports. He was a household name, appearing in movies, commercials, and gracing countless magazine covers. Simpson was living the American dream, a testament to hard work and natural talent. He was a hero, a role model, a symbol of success. His charisma was infectious, his presence magnetic. He had it all: fame, fortune, and the adoration of millions. The fairy tale image of the star athlete and his beautiful wife started to show signs of strain. Rumors of discord and infidelity began to circulate. The whispers grew louder, hinting at a darker side to the man who seemed to have it all. Incidents of arguments and altercations between the couple were reported, casting a shadow over their seemingly perfect life. The allegations of domestic violence, though initially dismissed as mere gossip, began to paint a disturbing picture. Law enforcement officials would later reveal their encounters with the Simpsons, responding to calls that hinted at trouble behind closed doors. Despite the mounting evidence, Simpson's star power and carefully crafted public image seemed to shield him from serious scrutiny. The public, torn between their admiration for the sports hero and the disturbing allegations, grappled with the conflicting narratives. Simpson, for his part, vehemently denied any wrongdoing, maintaining his innocence and portraying himself as a victim of false accusations. The truth, however, seemed far more complicated, buried beneath layers of fame, denial, and a system that often protected its stars. These early warning signs, though largely ignored at the time, would foreshadow a pattern of behavior that would have devastating consequences in the years to come. Their story began like a classic tale of young love. O.J. and Marguerite met as students at Galileo High School in San Francisco. Their paths intertwined long before the roar of the crowd and the glare of the spotlight. He was the charismatic athlete, a star on the rise, while she was the attractive and popular cheerleader, capturing his attention with her infectious smile and warm personality. They were young, full of dreams and aspirations, their love blossoming against the backdrop of high school hallways and Friday night football games. Marguerite was drawn to O.J.'s charm and undeniable star power. He exuded confidence, a natural leader both on and off the field. His future seemed destined for greatness, his talent impossible to ignore. For O.J., Marguerite represented stability and a sense of normalcy amidst the growing frenzy surrounding his athletic prowess. She was his rock, his confidant, someone he could rely on as his world began to spin faster with each touchdown and every accolade. As O.J.'s football career flourished at the University of Southern California, Marguerite remained a constant presence in his life. She was there through the long hours of practice, the pressure-packed games, and the ever-increasing media attention. Their bond seemed unbreakable, their love unwavering in the face of his burgeoning fame. She was his anchor, grounding him amidst the whirlwind of college life and the promise of a dazzling future in professional football. O.J.'s entry into the NFL with the Buffalo Bills marked a turning point in their relationship. He went from college star to national icon in the blink of an eye, his name synonymous with electrifying runs and unmatched athleticism. Endorsement deals poured in, and he became a sought-after celebrity, gracing magazine covers and appearing on television screens across the country. Marguerite, thrust into the unfamiliar world of fame and fortune, struggled to find her footing. The constant attention, the adoring fans, and the relentless media scrutiny created a wedge between them. O.J. thrived in the spotlight, his charisma amplified by the cheers of the crowd and the flash of cameras. Marguerite, however, found it increasingly difficult to reconcile the man she knew with the larger-than-life persona he presented to the world. The private moments they once cherished became fewer and farther between, replaced by public appearances and the demands of his burgeoning career. The pressure of fame began to take its toll on O.J. The easygoing charm he once possessed was often replaced by a short temper and a sense of entitlement. He was used to getting his way, both on and off the field. Marguerite, once his biggest supporter, found herself bearing the brunt of his frustrations. The man who had vowed to love and cherish her was becoming increasingly distant, lost in the intoxicating allure of fame and its seductive trappings. Section 3. Cracks in the Foundation. The birth of their first child, Arnell, in 1970, brought a brief respite from the mounting tension. OJ was ecstatic to be a father, and for a time their family life provided a much-needed sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. However, the underlying issues that plagued their relationship remained unaddressed, simmering beneath the surface like a dormant volcano waiting to erupt. As OJ's stardom continued to soar, so too did the whispers of his infidelity. Rumors of extramarital affairs circulated through the tabloids, each new allegation chipping away at the foundation of their marriage. Marguerite, struggling to maintain a sense of normalcy for their daughter, found herself increasingly isolated and alone. The man who had vowed to protect and cherish her was now the source of her pain and insecurity. The cracks in their marriage were becoming impossible to ignore. Arguments became more frequent, fueled by jealousy, resentment, and the growing chasm that separated them. OJ, used to getting his way, had little patience for confrontation, and his temper, once reserved for the football field, began to surface in their home. The man who had charmed the nation with his smile was now capable of unleashing a darker side, one that left Marguerite feeling trapped and afraid. Despite the turmoil, Marguerite remained determined to make their marriage work. She loved OJ, and the thought of breaking up their family was unbearable. She clung to the hope that he would realize the damage he was inflicting and seek help for his anger. She believed in the power of forgiveness and the sanctity of their vows. However, she was starting to realize that her love alone might not be enough to save their marriage from the destructive forces that threatened to tear it apart. Section 1. Behind Closed Doors. The whispers of trouble in the Simpson household grew louder with each passing year. What happened behind the closed doors of their luxurious home was often a stark contrast to the picture-perfect image they presented to the world. Friends and acquaintances would later recall witnessing arguments, hearing raised voices, and sensing a palpable tension between the golden couple. One close friend of Marguerite's recounted a particularly disturbing incident at a dinner party. OJ, seemingly agitated by a trivial matter, had lashed out at his wife, his words laced with venom and disrespect. The room fell silent as Marguerite, visibly shaken, excused herself to the restroom, leaving her friends feeling uncomfortable and concerned. It was a glimpse into a darker side of OJ, a stark contrast to the charming and charismatic persona he displayed in public. Marguerite, fiercely loyal and protective of her family's image, did her best to conceal the turmoil from the public eye. She would often downplay the severity of the situation, making excuses for OJ's behavior and attributing it to the stress of his career and the pressures of fame. Her friends, however, were not so easily convinced. They saw the toll that OJ's anger was taking on her, the way her once vibrant spirit seemed to dim with each passing incident. The domestic staff employed at the Simpson residence were privy to a different side of their employers. They witnessed firsthand the volatile arguments, the slammed doors, and the palpable tension that permeated the atmosphere. One housekeeper, sworn to secrecy by a strict confidentiality agreement, would later confide in a friend about the fear she felt whenever OJ's temper flared. She described him as a different person behind closed doors, his anger unpredictable and frightening. The facade of the perfect couple was crumbling, the cracks in their marriage widening with each passing day. Marguerite, desperate to preserve her family and protect her children from the truth, remained trapped in a cycle of abuse, her silence fueled by fear and a desperate hope that things would somehow get better. Section 2. The night the police came calling. The simmering tension in the Simpson household finally boiled over on a cold January night in 1973. Neighbors, startled by the sound of shouting and breaking glass, made frantic calls to the police, reporting a disturbance at the Simpson residence.
The responding officers, accustomed to dealing with domestic disputes, were unprepared for what they encountered upon arriving at the scene. Two officers, myself and my partner, approached the front door, our hands hovering near our holsters. The air was thick with a mixture of fear and adrenaline. As we knocked on the door, we could hear muffled sobs coming from inside.
My husband, he hit me.
The door opened to reveal a distraught Marguerite, her eyes red and swollen, her clothing torn and disheveled.
Shower and his partner, their eyes drawn to a noticeable bruise forming on her cheek. immediately ushered her outside to safety. As they entered the house, they were met with a scene of chaos. Broken glass littered the floor, furniture was overturned, and a chilling silence hung in the air. It was clear that a violent altercation had taken place. "Where is your husband, ma'am?"
Marguerite, her body shaking uncontrollably, pointed towards the back of the house.
The officers, their weapons drawn, moved cautiously through the house, their hearts pounding with each step. They found no sign of OJ. He had fled the scene before they arrived, leaving his wife to face the consequences of his actions alone. Shower and his partner convinced Marguerite to file a police report, documenting the incident and the injuries she had sustained. It was a difficult and emotional process for her shame and fear palpable. She was hesitant to press charges, torn between her desire for justice and her fear of the public humiliation it would bring upon her family.
The news of the domestic disturbance at the Simpson residence spread like wildfire through the media. Reporters camped outside their home, eager for any scrap of information about the incident. OJ, initially silent, eventually emerged to address the allegations, his demeanor a study in controlled anger and indignation. The public, torn between their admiration for the football hero and the disturbing allegations, struggled to reconcile the conflicting narratives. OJ's fame and charisma cast a long shadow, and many were quick to believe his version of events. Marguerite, on the other hand, retreated further into herself, her silence feeding the public's doubts and fueling the flames of speculation. Marguerite's decision to remain silent was a complex one, influenced by a multitude of factors. She was afraid of OJ, terrified of what he might do if she spoke out against him. She was also acutely aware of the power dynamics at play, her word against that of a beloved sports icon. The potential backlash from OJ's fans, the media scrutiny, and the inevitable public humiliation were daunting prospects. In the end, Marguerite chose to protect herself and her children by retreating into a shroud of silence. The charges against OJ were eventually dropped due to lack of evidence, and the incident faded from the headlines as quickly as it had surfaced. However, the scars of that night, both physical and emotional, would linger long after the media circus had moved on. S5. It's all lies. I would never lay a hand on a woman. Marguerite and I had an argument, yes, but it was just that. An argument. Things got heated, but I never hit her. These allegations are completely false, and I will fight them with everything I have. The incident between O.J. Simpson and Marguerite Simpson not only shook the foundations of their domestic life, but also sent ripples through the public and media landscapes. The star athlete, known for his charismatic persona on and off the field, was now under a microscope, with every detail of his personal life dissected by fans and critics alike. The media played a significant role in shaping the public's perception, often oscillating between portraying Simpson as a fallen hero and a misunderstood celebrity caught in a moment of weakness. The public's reaction was a complex tapestry of disappointment, disbelief, and staunch support. Some fans were quick to dismiss the allegations as an overblown argument, a minor blip in the otherwise stellar life of a sports icon. Others felt betrayed, their admiration for Simpson tainted by the stark revelations of his violent behavior. The media, ever hungry for sensational stories, amplified every angle, often without a thorough investigation into the deeper issues at play. As debates raged in newspapers and television panels, the narrative often shifted focus from the victim to the celebrity involved. This shift not only skewed public perception but also highlighted a disturbing trend in society's handling of domestic violence cases, especially involving high-profile individuals. The sensationalism surrounding the case often overshadowed the serious underlying issues, turning a personal tragedy into a public spectacle. The influence of media in this case was a double-edged sword. While it brought necessary attention to the issue of domestic violence, it also exploited the personal pain of those involved for ratings and sales, sometimes at the expense of a deeper, more empathetic understanding of the situation. Marguerite Simpson's silence in the face of domestic violence was shaped by societal pressures and the fear of public backlash. The legacy of O.J. Simpson's first marriage highlights societal challenges in dealing with domestic violence, especially involving public figures. O.J. Simpson's relationship with Nicole Brown mirrored his past. with possessiveness and jealousy resurfacing, leading to tragic consequences. Friends noticed growing tension, but it was often dismissed due to O.J.'s fame. Both Marguerite and Nicole became victims of his volatile temper. O.J. Simpson's celebrity status shielded him from accountability, creating a dangerous sense of impunity. The public's fascination with his charm often overshadowed the warning signs of his abusive behavior. Despite warning signs, O.J. Simpson's actions culminated in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, highlighting systemic failures in addressing domestic violence. The trial exposed deep societal issues and the complexities of the justice system. O.J. Simpson's public persona contrasted sharply with his private actions, serving as a cautionary tale about hero worship and the dangers of overlooking abuse. His story underscores the importance of holding individuals accountable, regardless of their public stature. Marguerite Simpson's silence highlights the struggles faced by victims of domestic violence, especially those with powerful partners. Her story emphasizes the need for greater societal support and safe spaces for victims to come forward. The O.J. Simpson case exposed deep societal divisions and raised questions about race, class, and justice. It serves as a reminder of the complexities of the legal system and the ongoing need for vigilance in pursuing justice. O.J. Simpson's legacy prompts us to address domestic violence and the role of celebrity in obscuring accountability. By learning from the past, we can work towards a more just and equitable society, breaking the cycle of violence.